Your daily dose of hot tea only on WINNMedia 98.9. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson.
Morning. What's going on? Jade.
Morning.
Big up yourself.
Kevon, sorry.
Yes.
I look like you got the memo again. The matching memo.
Nothing, man. He's the Duke. He does what he wants.
Precisely. Don't make me put on my royal garbs.
And we're here again
Yes.
on Island Tea.
Yes.
Yes.
It is a Tuesday, June 29th, and the time is 8:06 a.m.
Morning. How are you guys doing?
Yes.
Great.
8:06
Sounds good.
a.m.
I'm doing well, actually. I'm doing well. I had a long day yesterday, but what happened?
You know that tingle feeling in your nose?
Oh, I tell you, just do avocado.
Ah.
Yeah, and then the sneeze will go.
What's with this?
Kevon to disappear.
Did he fall off? Did you?
I don't know what exactly happened, but
Okay.
yeah.
I feel like he fell off the jaw, yeah.
But Jade, I'm actually very... What?
My man just left me.
The man, he's one of us.
But hey, the boy jealousy, but he got fall out with his shirt.
I think the term is late bean things.
Okay.
Grudge. Your grudge.
No, I had my white shirt from long time.
Me too.
Me too. I just put it on though.
Oh boy. But I'm very happy to see Jade here today.
Me too, actually. And
Yeah,
not
you too?
sick.
Oh, great.
Yeah, me too. Are you happy to see me? You know when you go to a restaurant and you they give you the food and they say have a good day. You say you too. Is that or something that you just say?
No,
you too?
enjoy your meal.
And you say you too, yeah.
You say you too.
And then you're like
Oh, when you ever tell somebody happy birthday and they tell you too?
no.
Mhm.
He's like, okay, you're autopilot.
I'm guilty of that. I just like always do it. Somebody come, okay, thank you for shopping with us. You too.
Yeah, and then right after you say it is like, oh.
And then you feel too ashamed to correct it, so you just leave it be.
Yeah. But how you gonna correct it at that point? The person will move on, thinking you're a total idiot.
Probably.
Precisely. So you just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. It's these auto responses. These auto responses is what I do it. And that's how I know. Like, all this is a part of the social contract. Like, people don't really want to be polite. People aren't really nice.
It's just an automatic thing.
It's part of the social contract that we have with each other, so that we don't like literally walk around feeling disrespected all day and end up in random fights.
Random fights, same bad.
Yeah, I haven't had a random fight
Neither have I. But
in a random fight. 2007. 2007. And it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault at all.
Sure it wasn't.
It was no. It was white people, random drinks. Like
Was it
white
St.
college
Patrick's
students and copious amount of drinking.
I know what I mean, man. I've literally seen some white students do some things, right? Like one time, me and my friend Andrew, we went to the beach, and it was in the night. We went to the strip, and
I like how Kevon, you hear that? You hear the progression just now?
I have
You
to
hear the
say,
progression just now?
I have to say.
All right, Jade, continue.
And
yes, we
then,
believe you.
No, honestly, we were driving down the strip,
We went
and
to the strip, yes.
oh man,
The
and
beach at night.
yeah, you have to say what it is, cause beach could just be like, but when it's a strip, everybody know. Well, yeah, we were driving down the strip, and randomly we saw like some white students just going down into the pond, and we were so confused.
In the pond, not
The
the sea.
pond.
Oh, the sea, okay.
And we slowed down. I was like, what's happening? And then we noticed like half of them was drunk, and another half was trying to get the drunk ones out of the pond.
Ah.
I was like, oh, okay, it's that kind of night.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Them things has happened.
Yeah, man.
Them things has happened.
More often than not,
Hmm.
which is a scary
But-
thought. He's serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very serious.
Just making sure.
Let's let it happen. Let it
Well,
happen.
it don't happen when we let it.
Let's let it happen. Yeah.
Well, nice to see that we're all in
Welcome
uniform.
to Island Tea with your faves.
It's good to see we're all in uniform now.
For those of you listening on the radio, Kevon is now officially in white
With a
and
black mask.
With a black mask.
Mhm.
So send your congratulations to 662-0989.
Yes, that you shall.
As a bacon.
I was wondering why you're closing the door for you.
Oh my gosh.
See why I tell you we need to put on it. The AC, even though we got to put it on every 10 seconds.
We are breaking in the studio.
Okay, you ain't even coming now.
You're using it, right? Remote? Yep. Listen, I need the people in charge to let TDC workers come out just to fix the AC. We are dying in the studio.
Oh, okay. I think I know what's happening.
Okay? We are literally
go.
dying in the studio.
There
Well,
we go.
Please, just give us a chance.
There we go.
What's the time for the AC to stop working? Like when we literally are locked down?
This is when everything does go bad, Jade. This is when your roof start to leak and you can't get to the hardware store. This is how it is. Like, this is actually a phenomenon in the physical universe known as when the spit hits the fan.
Wow.
I always thought you was gonna come up with a little parable to yeah.
No. I mean, everybody know that is the scientific term.
Mm-hmm.
But when our grandparents would experience things like this, they would always say, monkey roll down mountain before sheep run up.
And it makes sense.
Yeah. Monkey roll down mountain before sheep run up. So, you know what I mean. Okay.
Fish can't climb in a Jade. Fish can't climb.
Fish can't climb. Fish can't climb slippery tree.
Oh, that's pissed me off, I'm not gonna lie. In the depths of my soul.
I can't wait till I get a child, right? I could just tell them these random things and walk off. I just tell them like these random things and then say, when I come home from work, you better understand. If you don't understand now, you better understand by the time I come home. I bet you they're gonna understand.
Dear.
They're gonna understand, Jade.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to give children more credit.
They do. Speaking of children,
Speaking of
Regarding
children,
this.
let me hear where you're coming with, because I had some issues concerning children yesterday. But go ahead.
what
No,
was happening yesterday in the people in parliament.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Wow.
what? What was that? What was that? In this time of all times, when we're literally struggling in a pandemic, that's what they're going in the parliament going to do? Go disturb people for? For the whole day? I mean, it was entertaining, eh?
Let me ask you a quick. I was turned off. Actually, I actually did not watch the vast majority of it. I tried to tune in every now and again. And
Boy, oh boy.
I think I watched a good portion of Matt Brantley's presentation. I watched a good
I
portion.
missed his.
I watched a good portion of Sean Richards' presentation.
I woke up and saw his.
What you keep forgetting is Clark. Yes, she's a Clark.
The lady that made the most sense in the house yesterday?
Yes,
Oh.
like she like. Actually, the young people are gonna take over. Yeah? It can't stop. I was like,
They must, because like literally.
as much as I wasn't agreeing with everything she was saying, I could appreciate how she put across her arguments.
You know who else I really I really appreciated too? Mr. Evelyn. Because he said exactly how the rest of us was. He said what we were feeling. Like, we y'all gone yesterday of all this to grandstand and argue about all kind of unnecessary things, when people literally listening to hear the plans, how we could be helped. Like, some people still out of a job years later. We're trying to figure out, okay, well, what does this extension mean and all these things. But I got to go here how Tim need to sit down, and how
And the thing
something about Dominique and the age. Do not give that the age in the mic. I tell y'all, stop giving the age in the mic. Stop doing it. It is not working out how y'all think it's going to work out.
we can't make a law for that. Like he can't write he can't write the
You
law.
need to.
He could propose the bill.
Bruh.
Man, it was rough. It was rough for the most part. I had to go back and like skim through. I had to skim through after it was finished, like, and just was like, okay, no, okay, too many points of order. Like, I feel like I'm getting, like, my intelligence is getting stabbed with all these points of
Right.
order.
I cannot believe that's what happened yesterday for real, you know?
But I mean, at the end of the day,
It's night?
indeed. See, Jade, you know them too. You know the sayings here.
At the end of the day, it's night.
At the end of the day is night. But really, we were the state of emergency was extended.
Yep.
So
To December. To December.
Like, my thing does be, and bear in mind, this is an argument that we've had in literally every single Caribbean nation for the last 8 months.
To extend or not?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the arguments are generally similar across the islands, and my problem does be, if there is suspicion or there's evidence to misusing the powers, okay, lay those out there. Let's have a discussion on that. But the government is going to make its case and say, well, basically, this is to facilitate easier responses and things. The opposition are going to make their arguments and saying it's not necessary. Now, there's very few of the arguments that have been made in any of the, and this is a St Kitts thing, that really combat that, you know, like, that really combat that. Like, it'll be difficult. And my thing will be, there's so much generally that you could criticize the government for. Sometimes the arguments will just be like, is it that they feel like this is the one that's gonna resonate the most with the public, so they go down the road, or I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like they're just going there to see if they could become memes on social media.
You know, the thing that was interesting to me too was there seemed to be a lot of time taken up based on persons not being able, or persons having different definitions of certain terms and what certain terms mean. It felt like, you know, when you have an actual debating competition where you define the terms initially, I'd be like, well, we can't do that in the parliament. where we can't have a segment where everybody lays out what the understanding of the terms are, and so we could move forward based on that. Because half the time they just be like, no, that ain't what I said. No, but that's what you said. No, that ain't what I mean. That's what I said. But that ain't what we said. But no, that's what you said. But like,
okay. Like, this is not what we're here for. Like, the country is watching y'all. And y'all want the country to do better. Y'all want the people, the citizens, to be better with each other. Like, how y'all want better to happen if y'all don't want to do better? I'm so confused.
I have to agree with what Jade said. It feels like a lot of them go in there to become the next viral video. It feels very performative. It feels like they always sometimes you go in there and you have to act up or do something that gets you, a little 50 minutes of social media fame, and then you die down again. And you head back in, do something that gets you some attention again, and you go like, are we there for like, what's the purpose of it?
But the sad part is it is performative, and we reward it. That's the problem, We reward we reward it. We reward the behavior. So at the end of the day, who really to blame? Yeah, I mean, come on my bed today.
For sure.
The mask guy kind of hitting though.
I don't buy.
We are studying about parliament and here ain't even coming bed. Let's prioritize people.
I fall asleep with them arguing. I wake up with them arguing over things that we really don't care about. Like, a lot of people do not care about the things y'all arguing about. We want to know about what is going on in the country. We don't want to care about what government didn't do back then and the sugar industry didn't get like. What does that have to do with what's currently going on? This is not when we are on the podium trying to get re-elected. This is not a political meeting. Like, we supposed to come together. Like, can we never do that? Can we never have a time when all the people in the parliament who are elected to run the country come together as one and set an example? That's too hard? That's too much to ask for?
Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, Jade.
Jade, you are expecting people to make responsible decisions.
The confrontation is, sadly, it's what people come to expect, and sadly,
but it's not it's not just a Caribbean.
It's what people praise, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a St Kitts thing, it's a Caribbean thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The Caribbean has this culturally accepted thing that your politician must also be, a
warlord,
comedian,
but time and place.
A warlord. This comedic warlord.
Hey,
everything must be.
What you guys think? What you guys think are like the classifications for acceptable politicians? Like, if there was a politician game, how they have like mages and like sorcerers and supposed like, what you think the classifications would be for politicians? It would be like warlord, it'd be comedian,
warlord,
it would be playboy. What else accepted in the Caribbean?
Nonsense is accepted.
Them three for sure.
Yeah.
But like I said, I was very pleased with the level of discourse displayed by the younger parliamentarians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please, I hope you guys take over so all this extra stuff could stop. I really can't wait for you guys to. I hope you guys do not get into this, like, y'all do not transform into what we have now, and y'all somehow change the way that we deal with these kind of matters, because it's one thing to do all of this grandstanding when you're on the podium trying to get re-elected. Okay, fine, that's what we like, cool. But in the House of Parliament, when people are listening and trying to figure out what is going to happen to them for the next couple of months, what are you guys proposing, what plans you have, y'all come in and argue about what Maine said this and Maine said that, and like...
Yeah.
Priorities, Jade, priorities.
Yeah.
It almost like when you're in a crutch, and the person who is in charge of the crutch has to be running around to all the toddlers like, behave, sit down, don't do that. Like, this is grown people. This is grown-ups, people who's been doing this for years upon years. This is their literal job, and we can't even get them to do or behave a certain way for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. No? I asking for too much time?
Too much.
Well, Oh, speaking of children, carrying on with the children team, I saw a situation developing yesterday on social media.
Oh dear.
Where this particular person was highlighting the fact that people in our community won't keep still.
What do you mean?
Yesterday, like they won't keep still. So like
they won't keep still yesterday?
Yeah, so what was happening was that there were several people. So what she did was literally take pictures of the people like moving around. So some kids like basically.
Oh, kids.
It was no big people too.
Can be.
It was being suggested that like they were moving between like family members' houses and so like just up and down on the project or whatever. And the way people like eat up the woman.
So they vexed with her because
she highlighted what was happening.
But that's not the reason to have the lockdown. So we don't move up and down. I'm confused again.
So like this was my thing. I was wondering like if nobody was gonna stop and say, well, the woman would not get the pictures to take it if he was still in the yard.
Who's really the issue here? The lady who's taking the pictures or the people who's moving?
Well, apparently no. Like, and some of the arguments being made had me really questioning the position of some people. Like, because they would say things like, why is the problem if the woman just walking on the road by herself?
Wait.
Just she and Kevon walk if she got it? No.
That's...
But my thing is, she's leaving somewhere and going somewhere where most likely other people are.
I'm so confused.
Like, I just, like...
I'm so confused.
I'm watching some of the arguments, and of course, St Kitts people, they got to make it personal and start to talk about the personal assets. And...
Don't even. Anyway.
And I was like, okay, maybe we in as out of the woods as I thought we were.
Oh, you said.
Bear in mind that this is one of the communities that saw a lot of people having to quarantine and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think we should start turning off the comments on the lives on the parliament and other important things. Not ILNT, they could talk on ILNT. But like parliament and so?
No, I don't even watch them, so yeah. But no, that
I
is
wasn't watching them either, but I was getting screenshots of them. Like, were you also nasty to each other? The people them in the house arguing or you're under the lives arguing?
Again, because they're going to get screenshot and sent around and they feel some sense of pride.
Yeah.
So there's people who literally are agitators, people who are disruptors, who really and truly have no other goal but to be noticed.
And you know what's funny?
And then you also have the attention seekers, the ones who can say willful things because they're hoping to catch a moment where somebody laugh and screenshot and send it around. The opportunity seekers.
And a lot of it is coming from fake pages, you know. So like people literally make fake pages just to go and comment on the lives.
Yeah, Attention is a hell of a drug, yeah.
The strongest out there.
Attention is a hell of a drug.
Crack and stuff bad. Woo!
And the use of sugar was bad.
Attention, different bad. Attention does he have y'all doing the most.
Absolute most.
Like y'all cussing each other on things that have nothing to do with comments. Like somebody would say, like, you know, they think that the AG or the Prime Minister, the opposition shouldn't say something. And they're going to talk about somebody more than third else. And I'm like, how this correlate? How is this COVID?
I hear people talk, like people just say something like, why they didn't say this like this? What do they mean by that? The next thing is, we don't look for your husband, something.
Right. Like, what I got to do
what?
anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Guys, we have a call. Caller, good morning, you live on ILNT. What's up?
Good morning, lady. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you guys doing?
As good as we can.
Well, it's a lockdown. I would like to hear you weigh the balance and the situation and the position of which we are in today. I would like you all to take into consideration the percentage of the amount of people in our community who have been vaccinated. And even though you're vaccinated, you're still getting the same penalty of those who are not.
What do you call the lockdown a penalty?
Huh?
Well, you refer to the lockdown as a penalty, or is it something else you're referring to as the penalty?
Well, lockdown is a penalty because all your rights are taken away, and you have done the requirement of being vaccinated, which is good because we already know that even though you're vaccinated, you can still catch the virus, you can still be sick from it, and you can still transfer it to somebody else.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I'm looking at is, where do we go from here and how do we go? Because at the same time, we look at the economics versus the health system. We need good health because if you're not healthy, you're not able to spend money. And if you make money, you most of your money will be going into the health system, whereas you will be able to catch yourself. So how do we strike the balance? That's what I'm looking for, the balance. Because every time we cry out COVID, can we lock down? Because every time we lock down, we shut down the system. The system is on a hold. Those who owe the bank, they still have to pay. Those who consume electricity and water still consume. And those bills are still outstanding. They still have to be paid. What do we do and how do we do it? Because we have to go forward. I think eventually that, in my mind, that COVID will become something like a flu, eventually, because we have to continue living. And not every time somebody about COVID, we shut down. I mean, those are ways that I look at it. I understand why we lock down, but at the same time, are we going to be able to do that every time COVID pop up? Are we going to isolate?
So you suspect that as it stands now, that is the plan? You suspect that now, every time we have an outbreak, the response would be to lock down? You suspect that's what it would be?
I'm wondering if that's where we're going to go, because if we continue this way, we're not going to stop.
Especially considering this time, even though a big cross-section of the population was calling for the lockdown initially, the government was reluctant to even do it at that time. So I don't know why you would feel that the plan moving forward is every time there's an increase in numbers, the response is to lockdown, when that wasn't even the response this time.
We even also heard them speak during the NUSD briefings, and they said that it cannot result in a lockdown every time there's an outbreak. It cannot. It's not feasible. It's not possible, and it's not something that they can do. They've said it. So, I mean.
So what will be the alternative? What will be the alternative game plan? What will be the strategic plan going forward? We cannot lock down every time. We agree on that part, and I understand that was said. But what will be the alternative going forward?
So perhaps the easiest way to figure that out is to look at the reasons touted for the lockdown this time. I think the issue was, one, to get a hold on the contact tracing and stuff like that. So so for me personally, I think what happened was that we were in a position where we were caught flat-footed, and we needed to then build the capacity to deal with this level of community spread. So having done that, I believe that any situation moving forward, we would be in a better position to handle it. And so, for instance, if you're going to say, well, we had issues dealing with the community spread, we had issues with testing, we had issues with quarantine facilities, then we have to build capacity for those situations so that in the future we don't have to resort to what we had to resort to this time.
I think the way you said that, you're thinking that by the time that we get there, most of us will be already vaccinated. That's what you're thinking?
Well, I mean, also that seems to be the messaging. The messaging is that the hope is that more people go out and get vaccinated, and so we're in a better position to deal with these types of situations moving forward. But like I said, the reasons touted for the lockdown was they needed to catch up on the contact tracing,
yes,
and that it was putting a bigger strain on the health system. It was becoming a strain on the health system. We had several hospitalizations, some people in severe conditions and stuff like that. So for me, if those are the reasons you said we had to lock down this time, then to avoid a lockdown in the future would mean building the capacity to deal with those issues moving forward.
I agree, but I'm just looking at the way going forward that we don't slip back into this position to lock down again because of the fact that we cannot control the spread and we cannot find those people who are doing the spread. But we have to come up with better strategy in finding those people rather than a lockdown to do that, because our economic system is going to sunder. And I mean, I understand for people who work for government, it's okay for them, but people who work in the private sector, I mean, they are having really suffering, but if they can't suffer. If they're sick, they will be suffering more. So they have to do something, but locking down, to me, is something that we have to find a way where we must be able to divide and move forward and to have a better strategy than locking down, because we're shutting down our system.
Correct.
And when you vaccinate, you're feeling the pinch.
Right.
Okay.
All right, man.
Right. Thank you very much. I don't take up much of your time already, so thank you. I've listened more. All
right, man. No problem. Thanks.
Thank you. And he said, we need to find other ways to track down persons, but we also need to. A big question is how do we deal with a population that doesn't a portion of the population that doesn't cooperate? Because we have the people who are identified, told to isolate or whatever, and they still do the opposite.
I mean, the thing for me, Kevon, like this narrative that's pushed, where it's like where the vaccinated people have to this and why, and like as if there's not an understanding that, okay, you made the decision to vaccinate, right? What that did, it provided another layer of protection for you and for the people around you. Correct? But we're operating in an ecosystem where everybody dealing with whatever the fallout is. Just like how, for instance, at one point there was no COVID in St Kitts.
Yes, good days.
Right? One person come back.
And now we're here.
What I'm saying is that the actions of one person has the potential to affect the masses. The entire nation. So what happens is that
our current state is because of that.
So what? For instance, let's look at it on a macro level, a bigger level. Then, one of the issues that we are having, as from my observation, in the Caribbean, was the lack of a coordinated response among the islands.
Yep.
Right. Now we understand different islands would have been in different positions economically and stuff like that. But because we weren't able to coordinate a response, then we have the situation where everybody is kind of just doing their own thing in different points in the recovery process, at different points in the vaccination process, at different points economically, at different points. And so it's hard for us to then try to create any situation where we are all operating together. So the travel bubbles and things, I tell people the travel bubbles was never going to work. It was never going to work because we're all at different points in our response to COVID.
What's going on with
COVID? I don't even know what's going on with that there. I don't even listen to that there because the truth is...
Yeah, I think the travel bubble can only really work if all of the countries are doing the exact same thing at the exact same time.
And we are not.
And have the same exact thresholds for what they're trying to achieve. Different countries have different thresholds in terms of quarantine. What they're doing is we're competing against each other to try and get an upper hand. And everybody is weighing the balances differently. So what's happening is that people here looking at this island and say, well, they only got 2 days quarantine, like, so people are going to go there instead of come here. So got to work out well
how you could lessen it and how to make it sweet for people.
And then you got people who balling saying, well, people going to go there instead of... But people ain't even taking on you. People ain't going nowhere.
They're going where they want to go.
But the thing about it is, so if we bring that back now to the local level, if we want to have these different thresholds for all these different people, then we're going to end up in the same position again. It's going to just be this continuous cycle of COVID going back and forth and wave after wave after wave. And the thing is, we see it all over the world. And the thing is, we need to focus on on the advantages we have because of our size.
Yes.
We're smaller, and so we're in a situation where it's easier for us to coordinate certain types of responses than it would be in some of the bigger countries.
Yeah, because some countries, they have one plan here, and then another part of the country has another plan, and then another part of the country say, well, me ain't doing that plan because I don't agree with it. So in St. Kitts, we have one plan. We're so small that we are able to have one plan. I think we really should try to focus on how to make that plan the best plan that it could possibly be. Trial and error going to happen because, again, this is the first time we're dealing with corona, a pandemic. This is the first time we're having to deal with community spread of over the last year. Like, we haven't had this until recently.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to focus on how to make that plan that we have now better.
Can use other countries as examples, but we also have to realize that other communities in other countries don't act the same way that we do. Communities, if we have to look at a country like China, they have such, social responsibility that they understand that something like this home.
Discipline, there's a sense of discipline amongst the population.
We need this done and we need to keep everybody safe. We are staying home. They will choose to stay home before a lockdown is even issued. But us on the other hand, a lockdown is issued and we still need to find ourselves outside. There's so many different factors.
I mean, even look at us, even look at geography. Like St. Kitts is unique in relation to geography. We have mostly coastal villages. Most of the villages are most of the residential places are connected by the Island Main Road. Mm-hmm. So even things like that in terms of managing travel and stuff like that is a lot easier here than it might be in some other countries, right? So the fact that we ain't got no regional response, we don't have regional thresholds, we don't have regional nothing. Okay, we can decide what our thresholds are, bam, 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 and we can decide exactly what it is. One of the issues I have is that I do believe that we need to know what those things are. In other words, just like how they recognize for the vaccination program to be as successful as possible, we needed to educate the public as it will in regards to what targets we were trying to hit. So collectively, there's an awareness. Whether or not you are going to participate in the program or not, you at least know, you're aware of what the target is. Mm-hmm. And so I believe that needs to be something that we translate into other areas. So for instance, we want to know what is the threshold for lockdown? What are some of the factors that we're looking at? What are some of the factors for us opening back up? What are some of the factors for us having events again and being able to go out at mass gatherings? So, sorry, if we have some of these, if we are aware of some of these targets, then I think the population becomes more aware of what their responsibilities are, and two, what the government's plans are. And so that would even drop some of the criticism. People can criticize either way. It don't matter what you do. But there's a certain but the awareness, I think, puts a certain level of responsibility on the population. You know
where would have been a good place to answer some of these questions, Azem? Take a wild guess for me, dear friend.
Down the ferry terminal?
No. I mean, even though India, they sound like down the ferry terminal. Parliament would have been a perfect place to answer some of these questions.
Okay, we got a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Dr. Mojo, Noita here.
Hey.
Morning, guys.
Kevon, how you doing?
Morning, Jade. Morning, Kevon.
Oh, man.
Good show. Yeah, what I wanted to discuss was kind of sensitize us to the likelihood that this lockdown may be more than 2 weeks, I think. And the reason why I'm saying this is there's a strong chance that people are still going to contract COVID this week. And that's going to cause a next 2-week incubation period. And there's also a chance that some people may get it next week too. So the mere fact that we're staying at home has not really taken away from that risk. So I think we may be gearing up for a month or maybe 3 weeks to 4 weeks. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. And I think for me, like I was just saying, if we have some ideas of what the thresholds are for the triggers, I think that puts the community in a better position. For instance, if we say we need to get the hospitalizations down, we need to get the number of cases down below this threshold, then I think we could even plan better based on the track that we're seeing. But it's definitely a possibility based on the way that people are operating.
But Azem, don't you see that the model of trying to live with COVID probably can't work in this country? Just from the way people are more afraid of a lockdown than they are of the virus.
I think the virus in level of fear, like it goes lockdown, vaccine, then the virus somewhere down the bottom.
Right. So if you understand that this is the way of our lives here, and we can't fearmong people into best practice behavior, then I think the threshold is once we have one, then we lock down. And when people start to understand, okay, this is becoming a little bit too often, happening a little bit too often, and it's affecting their pocket, then you may see a change in behavior. But the threat...
But the sad part for me is that the threat of the loss of income is no longer a threat. That's a reality a lot of people facing. A lot of people...
It's no longer a threat, so people are okay with that now?
I don't know if they're okay with it. That's the thing, I don't know if they're okay with it. And a lot of times, a lot of us have this thing where we don't like what's happening, we don't like what the government doing. When they didn't lock down after we had one case, it was a problem. When we locked down, people saying, why I got to lock in? So it's like, apparently the public has the luxury of being able to just like say whatever. I don't think that's the luxury that the policymakers have. And so, we're in a situation now where people just frustrated. People don't really have a solution. They just know we don't like what's happening, but nobody really have a solution.
Nobody has a solution, right? And the mere fact that we can't, and we are a society that is parent dominant, meaning our workforce has a lot of people who are parents. I can't see a scenario where September comes and we can't go back to school, and that being a viable option. But at the same time, because the kids can't get vaccinated, we can't live with COVID. Let's face it, that model cannot work because the kids are super spreaders and they can't get vaccinated. And there's still going to be that inherent threat of importing the virus. So, I think the model should be get rid of it and cross your fingers. From October, when we opened, we increased the risk of bringing in the virus and having community spread because of the protocols and the vacation in place mechanisms and everything. But we staved off COVID for 9 months. So something was working.
Yeah, I think that's something that is lost on a lot of people know. The fact that we're in a position that a lot of the other islands were not in, where for 9 months we managed to avoid the community spread. Now, if we can identify what went wrong, where the breach was, we could address that, try to get rid of COVID, and then move forward in an improved model to what we were doing before.
That's the strategy. Get rid of it and cross your fingers again. But the thing is, the risk of importing COVID has lowered compared to October last year. For two reasons. We aren't letting people come here if they're not vaccinated. And two, at least 70% of us, I'm hoping by the end of July or October, would have received both shots. So the risk of spreading the virus would have reduced. So the strategy should be, let's get rid of it entirely and tighten up what we were doing for those past 9 months, and we should be fine.
The thing about I understand what you're saying, and that's one approach. The issue with that approach is that it is we're in a situation now where things are changing rapidly. So, for instance, with the reintroduction of the cruise ships, into the equation with the constant calls for reduction in quarantine times, even to do away with mandatory quarantine for vaccinated people. Yeah, the situation is changing rapidly. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to go back to what we were doing, say, last October.
Okay. Once you put that variable in the mix, then we can.
Yeah. It's a lot of different things happening.
Screwed.
Yeah, depends on screwed. Hey, no, it's that's where input, brother.
Oh dear.
That's where we're screwed. I think that sums up the
the feelings for a lot of people.
There's so much different
Oh dear.
and this is what I keep telling people, you know. At the end of the day, you're gonna have to look at this like the more people taking a personal responsibility, whether it is your approach is to vaccinate, or your approach is to as much as possible adhere to the non-pharmaceutical protocols. Everybody has a personal responsibility to do something.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of people doing nothing.
Nothing at all.
Like what they do, they
No,
comply.
they're doing something.
They're compliant when they go into a place that mandates it. So you go to but then you go to your friend's house and
Take off your mask.
and then you don't wash your hand when you reach home because when you're hungry
I don't
and,
feel like you're afraid of this virus.
and you're rushing home to watch the Euros. Hey, all the football fans, them right?
Give them a little update there.
Big up ISF. No, the Euros are amazing right now. Man, I don't. And look, that is a bright spot for the football lovers right now.
I saw them going crazy yesterday.
Watch.
I don't know what was happening, but I know
Watch.
something was
Let me
happening.
tell you something. The light at the end of the tunnel for football lovers is the fact that at least you could watch the Euros without having your boss come into the break room every minute to ask you what you're doing.
Yeah, you got to sneak to watch it.
The Euros are... Oh, man.
Whoa. Whoa.
Axman just lay out the secret, boy.
Oh, we're celebrating White
We're
Sands?
celebrating White Sands.
The White Sands that we missed on Sunday?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that is a big plus. So all the football fans enjoy it. Yeah.
I think some of them calling you actually.
Oh, there's a football fan here. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, caller. You're live on Island T. What's up?
Fellas, you see, right now there's a vehicle that is driving around and saying that all health centers are open for the vaccine, and they encourage you to go and take the vaccine to protect your family.
So, before you continue, you mind letting us know what area of the country you live at?
I live in the northern side.
Because I've been wondering if this is something that happening island-wide, you know. Like, this is something happening island-wide, the vehicles going around with the megaphones, like that's something that's happening all over?
Heard it.
Okay.
Most likely, maybe because if all the health centers are open, most likely that's what they're doing. But one of the announcements that they are saying is that come and take your vaccine and protect your family. If you take the vaccine, how do you protect your family by taking the vaccine? If you take the vaccine, I see you protecting yourself.
No.
From not getting sick.
Well,
and protecting the system.
Well, I mean, the truth is, so, for instance, if you're a parent and you take the vaccine, recognizing that your kids can't take it, recognizing you may be living in a household, for instance, with me, with a grandparent, or somebody who's pregnant, for instance. I think that statement does hold true, especially in cases like that.
You also have to consider that, like, the vaccine, it lessens the chances of you catching it and spreading it. So, you know, it also protects your family in the sense that it gives them a safer environment where the likelihood of them contracting it is significantly decreased.
But one of the things that puzzles me is that if you don't do the necessary due diligence, you can take the virus home even though you're vaccinated. You can take it home. You can carry it and give it to somebody even if you take the vaccine. You could be a carrier because humans are the carrier of the virus.
Yes, sir. I think what's the mindset is the fact that the vaccine is not an invincible shield, but it's a layer of protection. So it's just it's something that lessens your ability to contract and spread. I think that is what it is. It's just another, just like the mask. Even though you wear your mask, you may contract it still, or even though you wash your hands as much as possible, you might still contract. Right. So it's just another layer of protection. I don't, and just like how we don't look at it and say, well, why I was wash my hand? I could still keep the virus even though washing my hand. I don't think it's fair to go, well, why must I take the vaccine if I could still spread it? Like, I don't know where that argument really comes in. I know that's the argument being made by some people, but I don't really understand it, to be honest.
In my mind, the vaccine is a personal seatbelt, as somebody described it the other day on the radio. It's a personal thing. And for you to go into your family, when you're going to approach your family who don't have it, I think you're doing due diligence by washing your hand and wearing the mask. If you don't pick it up somewhere to carry it to them, that's the only protection I think that you give to them. But if you vaccine, I don't think that you're protecting them. I think doing due diligence, that is where you protect those people.
So, why
cannot take the vaccine.
So why you think washing your hand and wearing your mask is a layer of protection that lessens your chance of contracting the virus and spreading it, but not
prevention of spreading. Prevention, washing your hand, wearing your mask is prevention of spreading. Because if I take the vaccine, for instance, I take the vaccine. I'm not looking for a foolish argument, but for instance, I take the vaccine. Somebody have the virus. I make contact with them. They put all whatever they have over me. They bubbles, they golf ball, as we say. They spray over me. And I go home, and I fail to do, let's say when they spray over me, I fail to put on the mask, and I did not wash my hands. I could be a carrier to somebody who did not take the vaccine and give it to them. I could even give it to somebody who did take the vaccine. So at the same time, I really like somebody to say something that when you say it's something accurate and true. And don't tell me that if I take the vaccine, I cannot get it and give it to somebody else.
That's the impression. That's the impression that you've gotten. That's
the impression they're saying. If you take the vaccine, you're protecting your family.
And what you see
How much protection are you giving your family? You're protecting them from not giving the difficulties and dealing with you by getting sick.
Okay.
And if you get sick, you're going to end up in the hospital and so on and that.
So what you're saying is that even though it lessens your ability to contract and spread the virus, you don't see it as another layer of protection.
Well, it's a protection to you who take it.
No, but what I'm saying is, I think you're missing what I'm asking. If it lessens your ability to contract and spread, so even if you have it, it's less spreadable, right? You don't see that as a layer of protection.
I see it as a layer of protection to protect me.
Okay,
who take it.
I got you.
But I don't see it protecting you.
I appreciate
so
you.
You have to go and take the vaccine yourself.
Okay.
Carla, thank you.
If the vaccine is not in your system, you will not have the type of protection that I have. If I do due diligence by washing my hand and putting on the mask, I will not be spewing to you because everything will be trapped in my mask. And if I wash my hand, I wouldn't be taking it home to you.
So your suggestion to the people listening right now is to both vaccinate and do the non-pharmaceutical protocols in order to give you the best protection. And that's what you're saying.
I will say.
What's the suggestion?
Wash your hand, and the other thing is you could take the vaccine for protection.
Okay, gotcha, man. We're on the same page.
Because the vaccine is what, and like the gentleman said just a while ago, the kids are not taking the vaccine, so you have to find ways to protect them.
Yeah, man, we're on the same page. That's good.
One of the things that I was looking at the herd community.
I got you.
Protecting those people who cannot take the vaccine.
I got you. But I appreciate your input, sir.
We're only thinking.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Yeah, man. I love it when we could come to some consensus. Oh, yeah.
What did you just say?
We're screwed.
Okay.
But no. But at the end of the day, the caller was pretty much saying the same thing we're saying, like.
Which is why I'm.
Yeah. You see, this is the thing, Jade. For me, it's good to understand the mindset of people, and to understand people's view. Like, I think, cause that has given me some real insight into how people act and the decisions that people are making.
Let's take a break. Let's take a break. God.
Break.
Oh boy.
Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat.
Guys, we will be right back with more Island Tea right here on WINNMedia FM. Stay tuned.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Horseman & Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St Kitts and Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
The symptoms of the coronavirus are similar to those of the common flu or cold, which are consistent coughing and sneezing, fever that does not go away, and difficulty breathing. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, it is advisable to stay at home until you recover, or if you want to go to your doctor, call first and tell your doctor of your symptoms, any recent travel or contact with travelers. And lastly, please avoid spitting in public. Recent cases have shown that people most likely to be at risk if they contract the virus are persons over age 60 and persons that have an underlying medical condition such as hypertension, diabetes, kidney disease, or a respiratory condition. It is advisable to avoid large crowds or other places where you might have to come in contact with people who are showing signs of the coronavirus. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem featuring Jade Gwyneth Johnson.
Hi, people. We're back. And we're screwed.
We. Because at the end of the day is what? Night.
I don't tell her, you know. I don't tell her, you.
That might be my favorite one, actually.
Monkey quicker run downhill than sheep run up. Okay.
Okay, I understand that one.
Oh, you understand? Okay. I tell you so.
I tell you, you know, you just have to say it with a profound
understood that one.
You understand now, isn't it?
And
okay.
it makes sense.
Okay.
That one make a little bit of sense.
I tell you. Okay.
Well, I may know, but anyway.
Once, hey.
Because all Jade, all goat don't make goat water, you know.
Oh.
Okay.
Watch that thing. Hey. And you know what? You know the other thing to Jade? If you hit them with the afterwards, just hit them with the.
End it with the okay.
Okay. You understand?
Kevon, come sing for us, yeah? Please.
Yeah, okay, man. I hope this is the next wardrobe change, yeah.
Probably,
No.
because he probably would have hot, gone a long sleeve with
I
shirt.
went to put back my mask. My face was hot.
Me and Jade don't have them luxuries.
Boy. Just
Oh.
Hey, and let me tell you something. When we come back out, please recycle our mask. I saying to my people with these dirty flag out
Yeah.
shed mask. Hey, come on.
And I've seen a lot of people who like change your mask. That's nasty at the end of
Yeah.
the day because you're gonna make yourself sick.
Black.
Because my thing is too, some people just the surgical blue ones, like
That's the one I'm talking about.
The nose bridge white because they're wearing it since last year.
Yo, trust me. If there's disposable, there's reusable ones. Just wash them. Regular.
Here's what I'm a double masker. So what I would suggest you do is buy some disposables, and you can wear the disposable under your cloth mask. And then you throw away one and you wash one.
Boy. Well,
Listen.
what going on now?
I can start doing top comment today, right?
Yes.
And I found the first contender.
The top comment is Christopher?
Yes.
What Christopher say?
Yes.
Well, that convo was like driving from Warner Park to the police station, but driving around the whole island to get there. That was a good one.
Correct.
That was a good one.
Correct is right.
Correct is
Christopher, you've
Correct is right.
You've received today's award.
Sure right. Sure right.
Oh my God. Anyway, Kevon, what you have on that little agenda for us here? Because
So, let's talk about some news.
Someone going off.
I believe so.
Long time. So, let's talk about Antigua. So, Antigua Carnival for 2021 has been cancelled.
Yikes.
Oh wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Just as they lower the
Understood on that
prices
couple.
and the taxes. Just as they lower the taxes.
And just as they've been
14
getting
days.
zero. They literally been
Where you
getting
going?
0 cases per day.
Yeah.
But gas to make you.
Where ya go? No way.
I mean, Carnival
So-
really is a big expense to these governments, huh?
It really is. And it's unfortunately, I don't think it's in a position right now to sort of pay for itself.
But
So,
you ain't see the people in protesting saying they want their money. They
Man
want
to come take back out the vaccine
They
from
want-
swinging in a carnival. Funniest thing I read yesterday, the man said come take back out all your vaccines and swinging in a carnival. Poor person.
okay. So, let's just let me read the article for y'all and give y'all an update on Antigua. So, the decision that there will be no carnival in Antigua and Barbuda this year remains intact despite the recent gains made in the fight against coronavirus. The minister responsible for national festivals, Honorable Daryl Matthew, told Point Express that Cabinet will not rescind the decision it made earlier this year to cancel the festival for a second consecutive season because of the coronavirus pandemic. He said, there will be no carnival or any activities that would involve large-scale crowds in any one place. Oh boy. So he also said that there are ongoing internal discussions about the issue, but governments remain resolute in the fight against COVID-19. Minister Matthew noted that the government and the promoters have reached broad agreement on the conditions that must be in place for the Carnival Fest to take place. These activities will be allowed under the guidelines established between two entities. The government earlier announced that fests will be allowed to take place after July 16th, but that all patrons must be fully vaccinated and all staff members for the events must also be fully vaccinated. Carnival is a major booster to the economy because it drives consumption and spending at a time where the economy needs it most. So, you know.
So they couldn't even do something virtually? Like, nothing?
No,
Yeah, from your house.
everybody ain't on the same beat with us, this virtual thing. Like that's one of the reasons why we
Not
are doing
everybody
this,
wants
yeah.
to dedicate the energy to the virtual. Some people don't see the virtual as a big
Do they have like
Profit
pageants and
thinger,
other
so-
things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the big things is like, I mean, yeah, let's look at the Soccer and the Panorama, right? Two huge events. Two huge events. But I think what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have the gap being filled by private promoters.
Speaking of carnival, right? I saw that there was some rumor going around that carnival has been cancelled. Can you cut it out?
Which rumor? When you mean here in St Kitts?
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is, I feel people gonna say that they're based on their definition of what carnival is, right?
No,
So
I don't think it was that.
Yeah.
I think they literally said Sugar Mass. They sent on a picture saying Sugar Mass cancelled.
there was like somebody took the time to do like a flyer.
Yeah.
Somebody ain't had
Oh,
nothing.
wow.
Somebody ain't had nothing to do one evening and said, "I'm gonna make a flyer."
Like, could y'all
Y'all
cut it
got
out, please?
wasted talents. Like
I mean,
y'all over here wasting your talents just for some forwards on WhatsApp.
I can't even call it a
do.
talent. Let me look at the picture again because I don't think...
Jade is showing shots. Jade is Teddy.
Is
No, because like,
Teddy Gwenny.
first of all, if
Teddy
Sugar
Gwenny.
Mass was going to be cancelled, I was not going to do it like this.
Jade is what they call
Y'all went in
backing
Photoshop paint
wood.
and put some words over the Sugar Mass logo.
Petty Gwenny.
Jade
Come
is
on.
backing wood.
Come on.
Wait, mix up again.
No, because like if y'all at least going to try and create some drama, like do it properly, no? But who is me?
Hey, but on a different note, but slightly related, Nevis Culturama, we have had no such
Cultural
announcement. So now, I mean, who knows what it's going to look like eventually, but something happen. Something like
Mark, please just let me come to Nevis. Like I know
something like it.
we've been blocked.
Ah,
I'm begging for asylum.
nope.
Watch it. If a man could sneak in from Antigua, you could reach Nevis.
You think so?
You could reach
No,
Nevis.
because
not
Patch
test-
them got
let's
whole
not
Nevis
test it.
border patrol going on. Dogs and stuff
Let's not
included.
test it.
Like you see?
All you got to do, right, Jade?
Can we some KFC?
Precisely.
Who I could bribe? Let me know who I could bribe. Who willing to take a bucket of chicken for a bribe? I got y'all.
What's your
KFC closed until Thursday.
now?
My God, throw it in your freezer.
Yeah, no, they ain't gonna, they ain't gonna help. Nobody want. I don't think cold KFC hits like fresh KFC.
No. First, no. But I think that's the case for most banner, you know. Yeah, but
Wait,
realize
here, okay, let's answer this big question. Answer the big question. Cold KFC or cold pizza?
Cold pizza. Cold KFC don't hit like how we supposed to.
But let me ask you a question. Which one stands up better to the call? KFC chicken or your mother fried chicken?
Mother's fried chicken. That would
Mother
say
fried
half
chicken
for
can't
me.
bad again.
I try to figure out what kind of
But,
ridiculous question.
But that's what I'm saying. So why KFC chicken can't stand up to the call?
Me ain't saying that it can't. I'm saying that it don't taste the same. Like a fresh piece of spicy chicken tastes different when
It
you
does.
reheat it.
It does.
So
But
they're gonna accept it.
mama's fried chicken that tastes jiggy all the time.
Listen to these two Rasta man now.
Don't do that. Kevon, why would you-
What Kevin has to
Someone
recognize,
please
what
call
Kevin has to recognize,
911.
we have a wide audience. We have some corruption eaters in the audience.
You're speaking to the audience.
Yes,
no,
these
I
are
said
the
I'm vex to them.
these are the discussions we have to have based on our listenership.
Yeah. You know?
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I never see a lion eat grass, so I don't get it. Like you ever see a lion run on grass? No.
Is that another parable, Jade? Did you just come with a parable?
They don't. They run down wild, fresh meat, which is what KFC gives us.
Wild fresh meat. Wild fresh meat. That's the
My
deal. Instead of
KFC send me lawyers for you, know?
instead of finger licking good,
It's
KFC
finger licking good.
wild fresh
Wild
meat.
fresh meat.
Okay? You don't question my Rastaman-ness on the ear.
You're gonna listen to some culture, see?
Well, I eat a piece of chicken?
Corruption. What answer you need, man?
Who?
Vince. Sorry, what's that?
Oh, because I'm like,
Okay.
Vance.
All right.
Yeah.
Party done.
Oh boy.
Let me see. We got to do this next one. There's a Chosky up. Choksy.
Choksy.
Update.
God, we poor friend, no?
I keep calling it Chosky. keep calling him Chosky, but his name is Choksi. So, the PM of Dominica denies the claim that Dominica played a role in the kidnapping. So, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt has dismissed as total nonsense suggestions that Dominica and Antigua and Barbuda played a role in the alleged kidnapping of the Indian-born fugitive.
What?
He is before the courts in Dominica on a charge of illegally entering the island late last month. Choksi, who has pled not guilty to the charge, claiming that he had been kidnapped in Antigua and taken to Dominica on May 23rd, is now wanted by the Indian authorities in relation to a multi-billion-dollar bank fraud.
So I have a question.
Yo, this.
Wait. Let me ask you a question.
Oh
first.
my God.
Would you, as a PM, come out and say that you had something to do with it?
But that is.
Would
that
you,
that,
as a person, come out and say you had something to do with it?
No, okay. But let me ask you a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're saying is that we are okay with somebody kidnapping a man,
Yes.
dropping him off on our borders, right? And we only charge the man who was dropped off. We ain't charging the people who did the kidnapping and the dropping off.
Right.
Yes.
Are we also
He
saying
didn't come on a boat by himself, but only he seems to be suffering the consequences of his kidnapping.
are we also saying that what we do to ensure that the kidnapping goes smoothly is to just allow our high command of the police to greet the kidnappers and take the person that they're kidnapping into custody so we could then charge that person for illegal entry?
Yeah, make your point. Come to that.
But we're not involved.
No, we're not involved. Why would we be involved?
I love it.
Azem,
I love
why
it.
would we be involved?
I love it. But not only that.
What points to us
How
being involved?
how could you say that Dominica is not involved when the guy is in?
Dominica and Antigua.
But what I'm saying is,
So
how could you not be involved when those are the exact two countries that the man left from and
arrived in?
You're involved just.
Yeah, they're not involved, Azem. They are not
just the
involved.
locations for the filming of they're not associated.
The man literally referred to the incident as a kidnapping.
They are not involved. So they know it's a mine. Both PM said it's a kidnapping, you know.
The two of them say it's a kidnapping. He leave one country, end up in the next country, but those two countries are in no way involved.
And also, the only person charged is the person who has been kidnapped.
Yes.
But they're not involved.
So here's the thing. Imagine you get kidnapped, right? And then your kidnapper charge you gas money. You could imagine that. You get kidnapped and your kidnapper pull over and charge you gas money. Because you cost me $20 to kidnap you just now, so please to fill up my gas tank.
You know what this reminds me of? Like when you're small and you get in trouble, but where you get in trouble for ain't your fault, but you get licks anyway.
Yeah, but you know,
Jade, that sounds like a lot of years.
On a serious note, right? On a serious note, if anybody had any questions, right, about the government's involvement, lack of involvement, I'll give you the one thing that blows all of this out of the water. How is it that this man left one island, end up in another island, and that has not triggered a debate on human trafficking? This is not in the conversation, okay, obviously you're involved.
So he said some more things. He said some more stuff. Here's his official words. He said the idea of a collusion between the governments of Antigua and Dominica is total nonsense. Whatever facts, whatever information Mr. Choksi may have, he has the opportunity to present it before the court.
He's not going
to say that the government of Dominica, the government of Antigua colluded. Give me a break. That's total nonsense. We don't get involved in those types of activities or those practices. He said it is unfortunate that it is unfortunate that anybody who would want to propagate this an unsubstantiated claim by a gentleman who is before courts. So this is not true at all. I mean, he just goes on to sort of.
So the question I have for the Prime Minister is, okay, so what you're saying is that the kidnappers chose Dominica. So what you're saying is, and Dominica had no knowledge that this man was coming. They had no knowledge of what was happening.
How did they have knowledge that the Jamaica man was there waiting for him?
So is Dominica a haven for human trafficking?
Questions that need answers.
Because they must have choose there for some reason.
Questions that need answers. Because it's very strange for you to only charge the person being kidnapped.
You know what islands they pass before they reach Dominica?
Well, how far Antigua be from Dominica? And what between you? They use them geography. Is geography or social studies? Azem is pulling up the data.
No, but what I'm saying is, they had to choose a direction, you know. They had to choose a direction. Like,
Azem, the fact that the police was waiting on him, somebody had to know.
But that's the whole point.
So here's my thing. The thing is, you were kidnapped from Antigua.
So they had
you were put on a boat that was waiting for you. You were ferried to Dominica. You arrived on the shores of Dominica, and police officials were standing there waiting on you to arrive on a boat that seemed to have no one on it.
So we leave Antigua, right? On the boat, on the kidnapping boat, and we go, where are we going? You could have go St. Bart's, Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, or Guadeloupe before reaching the Dominica. No, it just walk out. But let me go Dominica.
But my thing is,
and the fact that one of the kidnappers
the boat don't drive itself.
They could have come over.
No, that's
the
not
boat don't drive itself. You can't get kidnapped, placed on a boat, and told to drive yourself to Dominica.
Well, you know.
Chuxi, see, man, we need to do some investigations.
Yeah, the man probably goes. Oh, he navigate. You know what? Let me don't ask some more questions before they kidnap me next year. I don't want to end up in a country fighting for my rights. Okay, I like saying.
Where is the human trafficking investigation? Because then this might suggest, based on what he's saying, it would suggest that Dominica is either a hub, a drop-off point for human trafficking. So perhaps this is something we need to look at. Is this something that's happening during the pandemic? Human trafficking between Antigua and Dominica? Like, what's like?
The people say they ain't involved, don't mix them.
Oh, so they just came to court. They just carried one person who was on the boat. Oh, and he got there on Sunday, but they didn't let the public know until Thursday.
Man, see your point, you know? Neither does the PM.
Okay. But we're not. Okay. Congratulations, sir. You played yourself.
All I keep saying is I'm waiting for this documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, don't
disappoint me, please.
I need to send them an email just in case they ain't watching. I just send them an email and send them a link with like all the things and be like, yeah, watching this?
Oh, I see this? No, just add them on Twitter.
No, forget that dear. We got a budding film industry here.
Nevis.
So what we need to do is we need to get the script together. And get
Capo, yes.
Yeah, and call Capo in a little bit.
I would like to play Chuxi, please.
You would like to play
Chuxi? I want to be one of the kidnappers.
Me too. I want to Kevon say.
No, I want to be Chuxi because I need to use the face of disbelief. Like when I get kidnapped, when I show up on the shores of Dominica.
When the Dominican Prime Minister said we had nothing to do with it. I love it. Caribbean is a wonderful place. Come visit.
It really is. I don't think if I had to choose anywhere else to be born, I would choose the Caribbean.
Sea, sand.
I can't do it.
Sea, sand, and corruption?
Sea, sand, and kidnapping.
Surf. Sea, sand, surf.
Yeah.
Surf is one.
No.
Sea, sand, surf, and smuggling. Sea, sand, sun, and smuggling.
Yay.
4 S's.
Gavin, you could be the police, you know.
Oh, Gavin want me the police?
Yeah.
Looking at Gavin. Yeah, he could pull that out.
No. You know who I got to... We have to include Axeman, because Axeman is wild out. He has to be like the
head kidnapper.
Waiting.
Oh yes. The police chief.
Mm-hmm.
Police chief, yeah. Okay.
Or somebody brutal. Like
so wait there.
Movie with
So Witty is the setup woman?
We'll work it out.
Witty is
Y'all
a setup
ever
woman.
watch what's his name? Remember Captain Phillips, the movie?
Yes.
Axeman would play the Somalian drug, the Somalian king, the Somalians, the boss.
The pirate, yeah.
The
pirate
pirate.
boss. Oh man, but the Caribbean is a wild place.
Yes, it is. And somebody.
What happening here now?
So apparently, a lady
this is breaking
of
news?
Chinese descent has won a queen show.
In Dominica?
Not in Dominica, representing Dominica. Congrats to her. Congrats to Miss.
You get a friend of the show?
Yes, Miss Mi Jong Chu, Miss Globe Classic Dominica 2021.
Really representing Dominican culture there.
Oh, to the fullest. To the fullest, boy. Congrats to her. Let me look at this video here.
Oh, wait, before we even move on from the Chucksy thing, we have to, somebody brought up a great point, thank you. We have to also remember there was a plane in Dominica waiting for him.
Oh yeah, I wonder how that plane landed there.
A private plane that was waiting for him. That said they had nothing to do with him, they were just waiting for something, they don't know what, but they was just waiting.
Interesting, eh?
Remember Uncle Gaston said that the boat came to Antigua legally? So...
But they involved. Yeah,
They're gonna do it. Hello.
Morning, Witty. But yeah, guys. I actually have a friend in Dominica who actually sent me something to that effect about that situation too. With the lady who is obviously of Asian heritage. I don't know if she's actually Chinese. I don't know if she's Chinese. Yeah.
So
I don't know. But she's
Japanese, Korean. Wait, no, I lied. Her languages are Korean, English, and Japanese.
Okay. So she might not. So there's no Mandarin there. So she might not actually be Chinese. She might be Japanese or Korean.
Or could be Filipino.
So no Creole? No Creole?
No. Why would you think that she would?
Oh, my bad.
Creole or Filipino?
Why would you think she would be? Y'all think?
But people vex him. Michael B. Jordan because he named him Juve. Okay.
He already said he can change it. Anyway, I think you think that could happen here. Like y'all think somebody who is
Yes, it can happen here.
Without outrage, I mean.
It don't matter. It can happen here.
Oh, okay.
And outrage can last for 2 seconds until somebody else in a sheet run down the road.
Ding, 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 ding.
We had a ghost sighting yesterday. We forgot to say it. Oh my gosh. I hope
apparently it was in Newtown.
You know, somebody said Newtown is the Florida. Sick. That was so out of order.
I won't.
The Florida of Sick.
I won't get into that.
Listen, don't talk about Newtown like that.
I don't get into that.
Although most things seem to happen in Newtown, don't talk about Newtown like that. The ghost fell, you know.
No, but that's my thing. Like that, I wasn't really scared about the ghosts. I was scared that the ghosts now are so clumsy.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with them. They need some milk.
I wonder if the police
chasing you.
Listen, if I were the officer right when I see that, I would have laughed, you know. I would have cracked up.
Imagine being chased by a ghost and the ghost fall.
Lord, what a country we live
in.
in.
They just sound like something you would see on like Scooby-Doo.
Scary movie.
Scary movie. Yeah.
Cindy. We're Cindy.
We need to go outside. I think we've been inside so long that we're losing it.
Oh boy.
We've already lost it, Jade.
Huh? We lost it already?
We've already lost it.
Yeah, let's take this last call before we go to a break.
Good morning, caller. You're live on LNT. What's up?
My kids, how you all doing?
Doing good.
How are you?
I miss you all. I was saying through the chat room, maybe you all ain't having a pass, but thanks. I'm glad to hear you all this morning.
Hello, essential. We are essential workers.
Oh, that's what you're doing, okay. When I heard that thing there last night, my head right. I want to know. And I heard it, I see it. That somebody first said it to me, and then another person said it to me. I was saying, well, things could happen like that. Maybe it's true, but And when you look at somebody, say you believe that somebody just playing around. And somebody will say, somebody told me this man, maybe somebody wants to buy the little nick snack and they want the police, stop them. So they shut the street out. Time to do that. Boy, which in the goes for try because they say if you die young, the spirit will really disturb and start to move. But I don't know. Got to look well, you have heard about it too?
We did.
It's a fake thing, I don't know real thing.
But I thought it was real.
I thought it was a real ghost for sure.
I think so. I think it's a real too. So I was trying to call some friend I have up there, but me get them, so I'm going to call them today.
You better open the ghost.
Really going on. At the same time, remember someone missing from up there in New Leaf. So I was saying maybe the spirit come back and maybe moving around. But somebody was just out in time to snap it.
Yeah, somebody catch them.
You believe that? That look like a joke. But it could be a joke and it could be real. Yeah, have a good day.
Alright, okay. Oh my God, hey. Oh, and on that note, we need to say nothing else. On that note, let's take a short break.
And we will be right back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened just now.
Good morning, my little superheroes. Tell me, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
The power to read minds.
Super speed. Pew! The power to heal the sick.
Well, you can get smart, speed, and good health with the superhero trio from Hanley-Orange. Hanley-Orange has delicious omega-3 bursts, sugar-free multivitamin liquid, and flavored vitamin A, C, and D chewables to support a strong immune system, healthy bone development, and acute mental performance for superheroes like you. Part of the Hanley-Orange family.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade or 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
If you own or work with animals, please follow these tips to avoid getting the coronavirus. Please keep pets away from areas where you are preparing food and eating your meals. Thoroughly wash your hands after handling animals and animal waste. Avoid contact with sick or stray animals. And always remember to wear protective gowns, gloves, and facial protection when handling them. As the novel coronavirus spreads, it is important that you continually disinfect your home. Viruses can gather on surfaces such as doorknobs, computer keyboards and mouse, cell phones, tablets, railings, kitchen and bathroom countertops, and remote control devices. To avoid transfer of viruses, wipe down these surfaces regularly with disinfectants such as Clorox, Lysol wipes, or soap and water. Avoid touching your face or your loved one's faces after touching any of these types of surfaces. It is very easy for viruses to be transferred in this way. When preparing food, be sure to use different knives and cutting boards for raw meats and cooked foods. Wash your hands before and after handling raw meats. Also, wash your hands before and after using cooked food. Be sure to cook food thoroughly before eating it. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem, featuring Jade, Gwyneth Johnson.
Morning.
That's us.
Yes.
The time is now 9:35 a.m.
TD Tuesday. Island Tea. Island Tea.
Okay,
and
so
please, Kevon, please. You already know.
So the NIPA press release. So Azem, we need like a timeout button for him.
I think so.
What? Why though?
Nothing, friend. Do you think?
I like how y'all just give people the impression
NIA launches a new service. Give people the impression that you do what you just do?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's okay.
Anyway.
What happened in Nevis, Kevon?
The NIA launches a new service to attract foreign investment. So, new services have been added to the www.investnevis.org's platform to better enhance Nevis's ability to attract foreign investment. Now, investors can easily find local service providers, exporters, and investment opportunities that St Kitts has to offer. Not St Kitts, Nevis has to offer. Phase 1 of the project was introduced of the website, which modernized the image of Nevis Investment Promotion Agency in February 2021. Premier Mark Brantley, who is also the Minister of Finance and Foreign Investment in the island administration, said that this new initiative and rollout is demonstrative of Nevis's commitment to attract foreign direct investment. More things Nevis to do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think anything now that brings in more revenue is a plus. But
yeah,
like things like this, I always hope that the accompanying infrastructure is available. Because one of the things I've been seeing in some of the other islands that have similar programs is that you have investors that come in, which is something that we really need, because raising capital in the Caribbean is
difficult.
Yeah. But what happened is a lot of companies have been using programs similar to this to kind of take advantage of inexperienced business people who really have few options for funding. So they end up with most of the equity, they end up with most of the thing, they end up with most of the board seats. When things up and running, they get the initial idea, the person who had the idea and stuff and got everything up and running, gets pushed out. But we just need protections for them kind of things.
I agree, friend.
Yeah, we just need protections for them kind of things.
I agree.
And also, we're looking at ways to encourage foreign investment, let's also look at ways to better locally fund local entrepreneurs and people with business ideas and stuff like that too. We could get some tax-free holidays too, please.
Where's that?
We could get some tax-free holidays too, please.
What do you mean?
You know, like how one of the ways that governments traditionally encourage foreign investment is to give them tax-free holidays, like say 25 years and you hang up in a tax. Or like crazy land lease deals, like you could lease this land for $1.50 per year.
Mm-hmm. Which I didn't know was a thing, but okay.
Yeah, so we need some of them things for locals too. Just saying.
No, I would it. $1.50.
Yeah. I looking piece of land right now to do something. So I mean,
I'm just looking piece of land.
Reach out. Who is the minister? Who is minister responsible for land?
You're asking the wrong person, friend.
Don't know.
Who it is? We have the ministry still.
Don't know.
Like, go up to the thing there. Jade, see somebody tell us.
But while we figure it out, you know.
It come under sustainable development now, right?
Maybe. Make sure. But hey, it's time to our, well, as the people said, their favorite segment.
Yes, because it is time to eat local.
With Miss Archibald-Lake. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, everyone.
Good morning.
How are you doing, love?
I am great.
The last time we tried to speak, the conversation was too great, and the technology could not handle the level of greatness that we are about to receive. So we
the last time we spoke, the technology saved you because you wanted to tie the kids outside.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Tusk.
I'm just saying.
Call him up, Keimon.
Okay. We can see.
I mean, he still have this thought that you should be able to, but I don't. I don't know.
No, I don't think he's still on that same mind.
You don't think?
My mind is open to other suggestions, okay?
See?
My mind is open. Yes, my mind is open to other suggestions.
Good. How are you surviving? I saw that you... I know you're locked down with a 2-year-old just like I am, and boy, oh boy.
I survived day one.
You survived day one?
Yes.
My day one, I survived as well. Only thing is that Jade stole a mango and hid in the closet to try and eat it, but you know, I need it mango to be exact.
We are not into the mango thing right now. Everything is yucky for my 2-year-old. However, she wanted to draw yesterday, and so after giving her paper to draw on, our tiles were filled with all sorts of colors.
Yep, usually how it goes.
Then she decided she wanted to walk in it and put her footprints so she could make sure that the colors were on her feet, so when she walks she can see it.
Such a creative little child.
Creative.
What?
So I survived it.
Listen, I don't know if some people don't understand.
Second guessing.
You can't second guess Azem. You just have to know that these are the things that come with it.
Not if you tired.
Azem, I'll say this much. My first daughter she was just calm. And so I was really hopeful, you know. I was thinking second time around probably will be the same thing, but
no.
That's not how it usually works. Wait.
That had different plans.
Okay, so since your first was calm and my first isn't calm, my second will be calm?
Maybe.
Probably.
No, I was actually thinking what's happening is that they get less calm the further down you go. So your second is probably going to be considered a terrorist.
No.
Maybe not. Maybe her second might be the one to give her a break and say, listen, you did too much on round 1, so round 2 I'll give you a little break.
Listen, Jaden will not be outdone, okay?
No, but that's the thing to Jade. You might end up with a situation where number 2 helps number 1, so they cancel out each other energy.
Right. Number 2 might be like,
soon, so I don't know cancel out.
But boys on a whole are different, eh?
Okay.
So boys are very high energy beings. So
trust me, I know, boy.
Oh.
Boys, they bring the heat.
Wow.
I tip my hat to people who have multiple boys, boy, because one boy is a lot. To have multiple, whew.
Look at it this way. You have multiple boys, it keeps you on your toes.
Excellent.
Probably be fit. You'll probably be fit too.
That's what I see. I tell you, excellent. Like, listen, if you want to lose some weight, chase a toddler.
Chase a toddler. Wow.
Just chase a toddler. You're gonna get there. But Keimon, I mean, I know we had an introduction last time, but I think we need to do it again because some people are new. They probably don't know what you do, and I think you should just give them a little glimpse into who Keimon is.
So as mentioned, I am Keimon Archibald with the addition of Lake. And I am an early childhood educator for the past 25 years. Well, this year will be 25 years. And I am a mother of 2 girls, a 14-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
Yes, so basically my whole life has been in early childhood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people probably know not like they're probably having a difficult time with their little ones because usually the little ones are at school or at daycare. You know, they only have them for a limited hours during the day, but now we're locked down, we're locked in with them.
Yeah, there's a definite change in the dynamic between a lot of parents and their children now. The amount of time they have to spend with them. Probably being tasked with finding activities for them throughout the day that they never really had to do before, ways to keep them occupied and stuff like that.
Yes.
And so, like, I'm sure there's some of them listening now who could do with some advice as to how exactly to navigate this.
So let me start by saying early childhood ranges from the age of 0 to 8 years old. Ding ding. So children in grade 2 will still be considered a part of the early childhood age range.
For sure.
I am going to basically break it down for you so that parents with each age group can kind of get an idea. So we are going to look at the 0 to, let's say, about a year age group, 1 year. Well, this will be a range of skills. A newborn won't have much skills, so you'll be helping them to develop some of these skills once you're home with them. Now, the challenge is parents will have to be in meetings and still be able to juggle paying attention to the children. So I'm hoping that daddies are at home with the mommies so that they can help as well, because daddies, you need to play a big role in the nurturing and development of your child. So daddies, I'm calling on you. You need to step up.
So you gotta be around when they're small?
What's that?
You gotta be around when they're small too?
Yeah. You help me.
This something new? Or this be like this all the time?
Well, now you know.
What?
Knowing is part
The more
by
you know.
G.I. Joe.
Wow.
The more you know.
So your first thing is safety. You have to make sure once you are interacting with your toddler, safety is key. So we're gonna look at the birth. So that's 0, maybe a month. Let's not use 0. 1 month to about, let's say, 4, 5 months. Those children are now developing their gross motor skills. So a lot of tummy time will be very important. Now, children at that age, they love music. And so here is where your YouTube channel will come in very handy.
Cocomelon.
Oh my
You could do your Cocomelon, you could do Dave and Ava, you can do little lullabies, they are baby
Little
lullabies.
baby bomb.
What?
Right, so you can, for the babies, I would suggest maybe something a little softer because, the ears are still getting used to the noise around them and it's still a bit sensitive. So I would suggest something a little softer.
So no alkaline and so?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No. And you place them on their tummy. Now make sure there's a soft surface so you don't place them on their tummy on the tile, the hard tiles. Some may have a playpen You may be on the bed with the younger one, so you can just, play the soft music on your phone. You can hum to them. Some of the songs you may know. Rockabye Baby on the Treetop. You can sing that.
Oh, so like lullabies.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do lullabies. So you could do lullabies, or you can do. There are some nice little nursery rhymes that gives a nice beat where you can tap so they can follow the sound of your voice, or maybe the tapping of your hands. You look for the eyes are what tells you they're focusing on whatever you're doing. So at that age, right, you can give them some tummy time. It's very important, and it helps to strengthen their neck so that they're going to be able to turn later on when they're about 4 months, 5 months. Some kids turn at different stages, so it will be important to have tummy time for your younger babies. Now, right.
So is there age when it's too young for tummy time, or that's basically as they come out the womb?
Well, as they come out of the womb, you tend to cradle them a lot. So we put them on their backs a lot because they don't have any muscle. Their muscles are weak. They can't do anything at that time. So at least the first month, they'll be on their backs, because between their backs are in your hands. So that's where you find the little bouncers, the reclining bouncers, because they don't have any strength right now. Then you find they'll develop a little strength at about maybe 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months. That's when you can start, working with them. They're gonna take a while. They don't usually pop up the head right away, but you'll see them trying to make little gestures. So you just encourage it for a bit. Now you have to be careful. Don't leave the baby on its tummy and turn off, because it could suffocate if it can't move its head out of the sheep in the bed. So you'll have to, short periods until their necks are developed and they can hold it up a bit more. And then you increase, tummy time. Okay. You can introduce a toy, let them stretch their hands to grab it. You can even put them on their back in their chair, and you can take a little light, like a ball. We used to tie a string on a ball, and you just move the ball and the child eyes would follow it. Which is,
So it's about helping them develop their motor skills and
their motor
focus
skills,
and
their visual skills.
Okay.
Get them used to hearing noises in their surrounding, your voice, daddy's voice. So that's why reading and singing is very important. There is a thing that I used to do, where you put the babies on your legs and you would do like bump, baby, bump. Bump, baby, bump. So you bump your legs so they feel emotion. And then you change your voice and you go bump, baby, high. You raise your voice up and you go bump, baby, low. So they start to hear the changes in voices. So those are the stage, the early years are the key years for development.
Yes.
So you gotta pay attention to them as well?
Yes, Azem.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, you have. I mean, you know how, listen, do you think children, when they see their parents, just run up and squeeze their parents when they see them automatically? No, it's because the bond is from birth.
Trust me.
Like I want clingy children.
Yes.
It's not about clingy children, it's our natural children's, it's their natural ability to feel love and for us to love them and nurture them.
Yes.
So, could you imagine if your mommy didn't love you?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Listen, nothing makes me happier.
Okay, good.
Nothing makes me happier than going.
And let me add, boys are usually the one who fumbles as soon as their tummy hurts. They want mommy.
You see how Jade behaves when I come home.
Yeah.
Okay, see, Kevon knows how. As soon as boys feel a little pain, it's mommy. Mommy, I'm not feeling well.
Yeah.
So,
we're talking about boys or big men, because
naturally
grown men.
Big man.
I still do
boys
that.
Go.
Yeah, we know.
Boys go into big men. So clearly, nurturing is key. Without the nurturing element.
I thought I could just like throw a ball at them or something.
They're not anyway. We're getting to it.
Even if you had a doggy, you would train it as well too, and you would love that doggy. I'm sure you have dogs.
Yeah, I grew up around dogs.
See?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know you used to treat Casey of them like this.
Let me tell them in here too.
You used to take Casey of them?
No, the dog! Oh my gosh. But yeah,
My God.
yeah. No, but I think
Jade.
it's very very telling now where you're really cementing the fact that there's a lot of attention that needs to be paid. And like I was saying earlier, I think sometimes and I know how hard it is when parents have to go back out to work, especially mothers. And that distance. So maybe we really need to embrace this time with your kids, right? No matter what the age is.
You have to, because parents have a child's first teacher. You're the one who's going to teach them most of what they need to know before they come into any setting.
Right.
Your maternity leave is what? Your maternity leave is
3 months.
What, 3 months? Okay,
Criminally
so for
3 months.
those first 3
Criminal.
months, you're going to set the tone. You're going to set the tone for, what your child would have been exposed to from the womb to your care.
Yeah.
So it's very critical that parents really get involved.
Yeah.
I know it's a difficult period as well, because that's the period the babies are not sleeping well. If especially if you're breastfeeding, you gotta be up around the clock, available to be doing this. So help is very essential.
Yep.
So grandmas, aunts, best friends,
daddies,
right? You gotta step in and help. You gotta really be a circle of support.
All right, but Keimon, if we come up just a few months later, and now we have a child that is moving around, what age do they start moving?
Crawling. So crawling can start from about as early as 6 months. And here is where I'm going to just give you things around the house that you could do. Yeah, 6 months.
They're in there for 9 months. They come out, can't walk?
Yes.
They're in there for 9 months. They come out, can't walk? What was in here?
Really? Not even animals come out walking. That's the struggle to get it together.
Yeah, I guess you have a point.
And so 6 months, they start to move around. Children love balls. So I often say to my parents, make sure you have a ball, a soft ball. Well, I ask parents who can do it. Textured balls are really good. Soft ones, really good. Those rubbery bouncy ones, not a football. The rubbery bouncy ones, and one that is small enough for them to hold in their hands. So around this age, the children love noise. So your pots will come in handy. Your pots and some wooden spoons. Yeah. So at about 6 months, you can have a little band if you wish.
Okay. I can support this.
Yes, then you can bang those pots.
It's a bang.
Make sure as the child moves around, your cupboards have the little protectors on them, because you don't want them to go in when you're not around.
Oh, okay.
Be taking out stuff that could potentially harm them.
So what is children's fascination with drawers and cupboards?
I have no idea.
Yeah. It's something we call cause and effect. If I open it, this is what happens. If I push it in, this is what happens. So the motion of it, we call it cause and effect.
Okay. And there has to be something.
That's why they're fascinated with light switch, the light switches, and pressing of buttons, because when they press it, it makes a sound.
Something happens.
So that's what happens when I press it.
They learn in the environment.
Yes. So exploration. So that is why it's really important to have your kids on the floor and exploring. As I said, safety is always important. So make sure no small objects are on the floor. Make sure the toys that you choose for the children to play with are not, they can't break easily, and leave small pieces for them to be choking hazards. No plastics. Do not give them any plastics. This stage is also the hand-to-mouth stage, so they're putting everything in their mouth. Your shoes,
every single thing.
Your shoes, your nose, your shirt, anything that gets your fingers, they're gonna put it in their mouth. So you have to make sure everything around them it's a free open space with just their toys to play with.
Okay.
And you don't have to buy a host of toys from Amazon, because sometimes the children don't even pay attention to those.
They care about the box.
They care about the box more than the toy. I realize that.
The box more than the toy. So you don't have to do any elaborate spending.
Right. But Keimon, time is running out and we're gonna have to wrap up soon. But I think, is there any advice you could give to parents who may be feeling a bit overwhelmed during this time, ways to cope with just the extra responsibility and the extra need to add this amount of focus into the kids?
I would say to parents, don't overthink it. I think that's one of our biggest struggles. We overthink things and we try to be perfect. There's no perfect parent. You learn as you go along. So my first advice would be to, don't overthink this whole parenting thing. There are no books out there that can tell you what to expect in parenting because each child is different. So it is important to know your child. It's important to pay attention to your child, understand how your child works, and adjust accordingly. It's very difficult for parents to be working and juggling caring for their children at home right now. So the support is very important. I can't stress this enough. Support is key. Even where we are on lockdown right now, so I hope that workplaces are sensitive to the fact that it's not easy being able to juggle a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, or an infant and still be on a Zoom meeting for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Even though that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I am hoping that the work environment is a bit lenient as well and understanding as to, if I have to step away from the computer, just bear with me for a bit until I get everything settled. So parents, don't overthink it. Ask for help. When we get this Thursday, Friday break, ask for help. Call someone and say, listen, I need some help, because our mental state is very important.
Yep.
For sure.
Opportunity to ask your question.
For sure. Well, Keimon, it's been a real pleasure. I think the information that you gave us is timely, and stuff that I hope that the parents really take to heart and implement. But we're gonna have to thank you, and we're gonna have to run off now. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today on Island Tea.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, we're actually gonna wrap up Island Tea right now because we are going in to join the Premier's press conference over in Nevis. So we're gonna do this quick. Just remember, you could like us on Facebook, on YouTube at WINNMedia SKN, or also on Instagram at Island Tea SKN. Kevon, the champagne puppy, the one who would have a dog and had no need for the notes and the information that Keimon was giving out. Could you tell the people quickly before we leave?
You can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not